Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review, and I hope you're having a great day today and that this week was a good one for you. Today we're going to be talking about Rob Dircks' Listen to the Signal. Now, I'm going to do my best not to put spoilers in this video. I know Fridays usually are all kinds of spoilers, but I don't want to ruin this for anybody. But we will talk over it gracefully. And what a phenomenal little read that was. Now, did you check it out? I hope you did. And if you didn't, then it's safe to watch this video. No worries. So in this book, we have a collection of 16 short stories wrote by Rob Dircks himself. In this book, like I said, there's 16 short stories. The first one is Deku, followed by Today I Invented Time Travel, then Endgame, November the 8th, 2016, Quick Fix, Horatio Breathed His Last, Purgatory, Out of the Blue, Tick Tick Tick, Rose, Red Parka, Bloop, Their DNA Was No Longer the Same, the last one, Mr. Personality, Christmas, and Silver Peak. Now, we're not going to go through each one of these, discuss them openly. Not going to do that. So to put a preface on all this, on some of the stories, Rob will introduce them before and or talk about them afterwards. That was a neat little thing. I like whenever I get that sort of things from authors or from artists because it lets me know where their headspace was, how they came across the story, how they made the story, or things that would be important, not necessarily to make the story make sense in any means, enriching the experience. And he does a really good job with this throughout the book. Some of the stories, of course, if we were to get into great detail about them, it would absolutely get rid of the reason to read it. But my favorite stories in this were the first three, and then after that, there was one that was towards the end, Mr. Personality, which really stuck with me. Tick 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 was pretty good because it made me so very uncomfortable at parts, but also on the same thing, Red Parka Girl. That was pretty neat too. So some of these stories have to do with time travel, some of them have to do with people that are really good at something and happen to be brought out of the fray. There is a story about a kid that pulls off this awesome stunt, and then also a quirky story that he wrote about him and his twin brother, where they pull a prank, and then Deku. Deku is a personal favorite of mine. I listened to that for the first time on his podcast. If you don't know, here's a link that goes to his website, and from there you can get to his podcast, which is available in a couple of formats. You can either listen to it on the website itself or through, I think, iTunes. And on a monthly basis, Rob does release a science fiction short story on this podcast. It's been kind of fun watching this go. I'm not really sure what's going to be coming out from month to month, and it's really nice to see an author that isn't just delineated or forced into a corner and becomes a genre writer for just this particular type of a thing. So big kudos go to Rob for that, because it's very refreshing to see somebody not falling into the same tropes that other authors have over the years. And granted, not every short story that he would come out with, or any author would come out with, would be for every person. It's diverse enough that there's a little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody. So for that, I would like to say, doing a great job, keep it up. Speaking about the diversity, that was one of the things that I highly enjoyed about this book, because we have stories that range from addiction to saviors to time travel and transport, and then there's just so much more that's in here. As far as short stories go, a lot of the times people will spend so much time going over them and polishing them down until they're just generic. If you haven't already checked it out, put it on a list and check it out sometime, because I'm sure that if you enjoy it just half as much as I did, you're going to love it. Today's book was Listen to the Signal, wrote by Rob Dircks. Hope that your weekend is awesome, since we're getting ready to step off into the great unknown weekend. Like, share, subscribe. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review. We now have a Patreon. If you guys want to throw some tacos at me, do that over there. If you happen to do that, awesome, thank you. But let me stress that if you do that, you're awesome for doing it, but you don't have to. And that will allow us to do more things. And I will see you on Monday.